Every Commodores, ladies and gentlemen, please rise for evening colors.
Attention on deck. Will everyone please stand for the evening color ceremony at Balboa Yacht Club? Gentlemen, please remove your caps.
As you were. Commodores, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the Commodore of the Balboa Yacht Club for 2024, Mr. Randy Taylor.
Thank you all for being here tonight. On behalf of myself, Commodore Randy Taylor, our Vice Commodore Brett Hemphill, Rear Commodore Keith Duart, our officers and directors, we welcome you here to the 57th Annual Governor's Cup Regatta. This is a big deal for our club. We're very proud to put it on, host the teams from around the world, great youth sailing. And it's an honor for us to have you here tonight. Just a few thank yous to our sponsors, Terry Causey, Dr. Bray. Where's Rob? I know I saw Rob. Is Tracy here? No, Tracy. And the Crowell family. As our presenting sponsors, we thank you. We couldn't do this without you. Of course, I have to thank our umpires and judges. We are very proud as a club that we host professional regattas with professional umpiring, and we're very proud that you are here this week to help us achieve that. Of course, we wouldn't be here without the competitors. We appreciate all of you being here. And I'm going to miss a few. And of course, our terrific staff, led by Russell Miller, putting on the events, not only tonight, but all week. So without further ado, I would like to introduce Christine Gribben. Christine has chaired this event for us for 10 years. Please, come on. She continues to outdo herself every year. Of course, I'd also like to recognize Andy Rose, who's been part of the steering committee and part of this for, I think he started in the 1920s, maybe 30s. I forget. It's been a while, but would be remiss to not recognize Andy and all his efforts on behalf of this regatta for the club. So without further ado, Christine, please come up.
Thank you, Commodore. As he said, welcome to the 57th Governor's Cup. This is one of the largest attended Cups dinners in history. Thank you so much for being here, and what a wonderful night this is. Can we ask for anything better? I mean, it's warm outside and it's dark, so this is great. I would like to thank our sponsors who donated to this regatta and our volunteers for their tireless efforts to ensure that this wonderful regatta runs smoothly and is enjoyable for everyone. And now, ladies and gentlemen, the highlight of our evening has arrived. I would like to introduce you to Balboa Yacht Club's own Andy Rose. He has been an America's Cup tactician, two-time Congressional Cup winner, in that same position, a Transpac and Sydney Hobart race winner, and a two-time winner of the Governor's Cup. He is our master of ceremonies and my dear friend Andy.
Do we need another mic up here, Tom? I've got the red one, and this is the blue one, and don't we need one for each? And the yellow one. As you can see, I have nothing to do with the technological stuff here. Well, welcome. It is always great to be here. I've always called this my second Christmas week because it is so much fun, and it's inspiring to see all the young sailors who are articulate and hopefully not too funny tonight, but at least articulate. It's a great thing. I want to just mention our three major sponsors again here. Rob Bray is not only, as I think some of you know, we have a 50-footer. We have a 50-footer, and he is responsible for keeping many of us vertical and able to move around. And I'm one of them, Patrick Lieber, many others, including, well, anyway, Rob has been a loyal and great sponsor for many years. Terry Cowsey, I think Terry's here. Is he? I can't, with this light, I can't see a thing, so. Terry and his Call of the Sea Foundation have restored the Matthew Turner, which is a tall ship in the Bay Area, where they do a tremendous number of educational programs. But I was fascinated this year to learn that Terry is also involved with the Hokulea, which is basically a replica of the canoes that first brought the Polynesians to Hawaii. And it was here, actually, a couple months ago. And I mean, that's just terrific. I think that story is so amazing. And so Terry is just terrific. And needless to say, the Governor's Cup, we literally couldn't do the Governor's Cup without your help. So thank you, Terry. The last is Jack Crowell, who, I went to his 100th birthday party last month. And I learned a lot about Jack. But Jack when we first were building the Governor's Cut 21s back in '02 and '03, on the It's Okay at the time, I coerced a few of the people sitting with me in the cockpit to each donate a full boat, and Tom Purcell and various others did. I get a call from Jack, and I didn't really know him that well, and I get a call. He says, Andy, this sounds great. I'm in for a full boat, and if you need any more, just call me. Well, that's when I knew, I didn't know whether we could do this, raise all that money. That's when I knew we were going to succeed. And of course, the second time around, we built these boats for the 2016 regatta. He was there. But I learned something, I think in every experience you learn something. And Jack has been a loyal friend. He's sailed on It's Okay with us. But he had his 100th birthday, and his son got up and read his dad's diary from June 6th, 1944. Jack was a navigator, did 2 bombing runs on that day. And in his journal, he said, yeah, and it's really neat because Friday's my 18th birthday. I mean, I don't even know how to react. I mean, what Tom Brokaw said originally and wrote the book, The Greatest Generation, they were. Anyway, we're going to do our usual, try to have some fun with the teams. But first, we're going to start on a sad note. This year, Liam O'Keefe, a 21-year-old from Florida at Brown University, won the Intercollegiate Match Racing Championship against, among others, Jeffrey Peterson and Justin Callahan. He was an All-American sailor, an all-around great guy, died accidentally on May 31st. That's the first time that kind of thing has ever happened. I'm going to invite Justin, who was his best friend, up in a second. But what we're going to do tomorrow, I don't know how many of you have seen, it's originally a Hawaiian tradition that certainly California has adopted. When you lose a waterman, like we lost a great young lifeguard here a few years ago, they do a paddle out. So everybody gets on their boards and goes out with leis and forms a circle and then throws the leis in the water. Well, we're going to try to do our version of a sail out. The boats, all 12 boats will be towed out by the committee boat, form a circle, and then we're giving leis to each boat to throw in, just as a small remembrance of Liam. So let me introduce Justin, and you can talk for a couple minutes about Liam, and then we'll go on.
How do you do it with these lights?
I know.
Good evening, everyone, and thank you so much for coming on behalf of, I know all the teams. We're really appreciative that the whole club can put this on. I stand before you today with a heavy heart, knowing that Liam really wanted to be here for his second Governor's Cup, and I think we can all agree that this regatta won't be the same without him helming here alongside of us. Liam's passion for sailing was quite infectious. He simply just loved being on the water. Add competition to that, and it just couldn't get any better. And then when he discovered match racing, he instantly fell in love with it all. For those of you who don't know, Liam, my twin brother Mitchell, and me have been sailing alongside and against each other since we were 8 years old. The three of us have been match racing together for 2 years, starting with our first Rose Cup in 2022, but our journey began long before that. Three of us grew up sailing Opties together, raced I-420s on the same team, constantly battled in high school sailing against each other. And then for the last 2 years, Liam and I have been recently battling it out together in college in B Division. Since our introduction to match racing, thanks to Dave Perry and so many others, we've been a team, the three of us, Liam, Mitchell, and me. And we called ourselves brothers because of the countless hours we spent together on and off the water since we were super young. And the three of us were truly family. And over the last 2 years, we competed in 2 Rose Cups, 1 GovCup, and a Detroit Cup together. And we always said that the best part of match racing is you can just grab your best friends, go out on the water, and have a great time. And if the results follow, so be it. But at the end of the day, you had your buddies out there, and that's what we were. Some of our best memories was when we won the Detroit Cup together last year, and even coming here to Balboa. Liam would have undoubtedly been one of the favorites to win the event this year, especially after winning College Match Race Nationals in the fall. I know he's with us with that big grin of his, just happy that we all get to do what we love, just being on the water. I know Liam well enough to know that his message for all of us here gathered here tonight would be to cherish the relationships we have with each other, and we live those moments to the fullest. There are tremendous people in this room who work tremendously hard to put this event on for us, and Liam would want us to enjoy every moment of it. Thank you.
Well, that's a hard act to follow. Justin, I remember what Justin told me right after Liam's death, that he said, you know, I have more pictures of Mitchell, his twin brother, me, and Liam than I do of just me and Mitchell. And I get it. Anyway, all right, well, we'll move on, because I think I agree with you. I interviewed Liam early this year and, of course, met him last year, and I think he would want us to, you know, to go forward and have some fun and do this thing. So let's do this thing. The first people up will be Nicholas Bernal and Tom Higgins. And I believe TFA Nicholas goes over here. And bring your crew, needless to say. Well, they don't want to show up, so about that. So TFE, is that right? Is on my right. Okay. Nicholas, you're over here, and you closest to here. There you go. Tom, God, you guys did that well. So last year it was Tom's first year and Nicholas's first year. Both of them have gone on to do pretty well, both in the World Championship, the Youth Match Racing World Championship, and most recently Tom won the Irish non-age limited match racing championship. So that's pretty good. Introduce your team.
So I'm Tom. I'm the skipper this week. On board with me, Irish, but coming from Sydney, I have Jamie McMahon, who's actually just turned 22 today. So happy birthday, Jamie. And then up at the front, I have Swedish turned Irish for the week, Carl. He'll be joining us.
Well, we've known Carl here before. He lives in the Stockholm suburb of Dublin. So last year I asked you guys to tell an Irish joke and nobody could. But so why don't we get Carl, the honorary Irishman? Carl, you want to tell a joke? No.
Jamie actually prepared. I told Jamie to prepare a joke. So
Excellent.
What he's coming up with.
Just quick PSA, I'm more of a sailor than I am a comedian, but I suppose an Irish man called up American Airlines customer service and he goes, hey, listen, how long is it from Ireland to Boston? So the customer service responds and she goes, hold on a second, sir. Just give me a minute. And he goes, Jesus, a minute's very quick, hangs up the phone, books the flight.
Clanger.
Excellent. Well, in assuming Carl probably wouldn't tell an Irish joke, I did get a present for Tom. This is a great T-shirt. I don't know if the camera can pick that up, but what it says is, an Irishman walks out of a pub. Seriously, it can happen.
Thank you.
So, Nicholas, your second time here. You've traveled quite a bit since the last Governor's Cup. to Australia and sailed in a lot of match races. What's going on? Are you way better this year?
Yeah, I think so.
Perfect. All right. Well, I've always said that, match racing, I think of all the disciplines in the sport, the learning curves go like that. You're twice as good in your second match race series. You're half again as good the next one. Do you think that's true, or you're learning, some things just become instinctive?
Yeah, I think we are doing step by step, learning every single championship. We learn something, and in the youth worlds, we got difficult in heavy winds.
Yep.
So we will try to work in Brazil the heavy winds, and for here, I have a new crew, so we will see in the light winds what is going on.
Have you been able to practice with them, with the new crew, or?
Well, we just sailed.
Did you just meet at the airport?
No. We sailed a few weeks in Brazil.
Right.
We trained like in a lightning boat that we have there, and we try to do some maneuvers. It's a similar boat from here, but it's a little bit more heavy. But I think we will be good here.
Great. Okay. You guys got some good practice today. I think it was nice out there.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
The light wind was good for us because we need to get more attention in maneuvering. So we need to be more synchronized.
Well, Nicholas last year even was able to pick off a couple people in the round robins, some of the top people. So, I think this can be a fascinating year. Out of the 12 teams, 8 of them are back, and including all 4 semifinalists. I think you're going to see some fascinating. I'm almost more excited about the round robin than I am about the semis and finals, just because I think you're going to see some of these teams that are now in their second year pick off some of the favorites. So we shall see.
Yeah.
Well, welcome back.
Thanks.
Tom, always
Thank you.
good to have you guys back.
Thank you.
So how was the? You did the Worlds.
Yep.
And then the Irish Championship.
Yep.
So are those your only 2 match races in the last year?
We were down in Sydney for 2 weeks. We did the Harkin.
Oh, you did the Harkin. That's right.
Yeah, we did the Harkin before the Worlds as a warm up,
Right.
and then we did the Worlds, and then match racing's kind of only just taken off in Ireland in the last 12 months. We've just started an association there at Christmas, so fairly fresh to the sport, but we're hoping to hold more grade 4s and 5s over the next couple of years.
I'll tell this because Dave Perry actually said it, but first time I saw Dave in action, Dave is a 5-time U.S. champion. It's sort of the best teacher I've ever met in my life and all my schooling. And he got the kids in after the last day. We were at the Rose Cup down in St. Petersburg. And he gets in and he says, "God, that was awesome. You guys were so great. Isn't match racing amazing? It's like getting 1,000 volts of electricity shot up here." Well, anyway. And it is. I mean, I've always felt that way. It's just an amazing thing. Well, welcome. Thank you. Good luck. Good luck.
Thanks so much.
And we'll see you out there.
Thank you.
Daniel Kemp and Marcello Torre. Marcello was a little late because his hairdresser was just doing the final touches there. Your friend Tom Eamon actually said you look sort of like a 70s porn star. Tom said I could say that. So, and he is a very sort of, buttoned up, kind of guy. Anyway, introduce your crew, please, Marcello.
Cheers, Andy. Quickly before I do, I just want to say a huge thank you to the Killians for hosting us again this year, and to all the host families for looking after all the sailors this week. With that being said, I'm Marcello. I'm driving this week. This is Vass, is doing main for me, and George is on the front of the boat.
All right.
Thanks, Andy. Like Marcello, I'd also just like to say thanks to Dave and Julie Hertz for having us this week. So on the end here we have Belle Holdsworth doing tactics, Lockie Wallace trimming, and Louis Tilley doing the main sheet and running the bow.
All right. Well, let me start with you, Daniel. So you have a tactician. I already like her a lot better than you, because years ago when Sam Gilmore, who won twice from West Australia, Sam was, he had been here before, so he was going to get me. And it was the 50th anniversary, and we had an alumni regatta, and he said, well, Andy, why didn't you sail in the alumni regatta? I said, Sam, I'm a tactician, any monkey can steer. So you're the monkey.
I'm sure Belle would say the same.
All right, yeah. So talk about that. How do you, on the boat, have you sailed together as a crew, the four of you? Did you sail like in the Australian regattas as a crew?
Yeah, I think we've been doing maybe 6 grade 3, so quite a lot over the past year and a half.
All right. So when she says something, do you listen, or are you one of those kind of skippers?
I try to most of the time, then.
Always wise to listen to the tactician. So Marcello, now see, if you don't know about Australia, the first time I went to Australia, I was going down to coach the Australian team in the America's Cup, and I, stopped in Sydney, and then they said, oh, you have to get on another plane, and I got on another plane, and 4.5 hours later, I was in Western Australia. And I realized instantly that that year we had the crew shirts had the flag of Western Australia with the swan on it rather than the Australian flag. The Sydney Siders are sort of the uppity, they're sort of like Newport Harbor Yacht Club here. And Marcello and the Royal Freshie are more like us. How is it being? You did very well. You didn't do a lot of match racing this year, but you had a really big Warren Jones.
Yeah, we had a really good regatta at the Wojo this year. Big improvement from the previous years. I don't know, I think after a while doing that regatta, you just kind of figure out the boats, and it just happens quite quickly. And we were fortunate enough that we figured it out and had a good regatta this year.
Yeah, they're bigger boats, and it's an under 20. Is this getting through? Oh, sorry, I woke myself. Even we're running out of microphones. It's different out in the West. I mean, first of all, to get to a regatta, everybody, it's just Australia. It's like Los Angeles to Atlanta, basically. So it's not that easy to do all the regattas. But the Warren Jones is one of the 2 under 25 regattas rather than the under 23 here. So you lost, but only to Ethan Prietolo, who is pretty awesome and a lot older.
Yeah, Ethan will love that. We lost to Ethan again, which is great. But those guys are so good in those boats, and I think they're just levels above all the competitors, including us at that event. So I mean that was okay. We were happy with where we came, and we kept building.
Well, everybody in this room that is sailing against you, that sailed in that, you beat. Yeah. So that's pretty good. You kept the confidence, and now you're gonna, Awesome. Well, Daniel, with all the newbies, we ask the key question. How to day of practice, and the answer to this question can mean a lot as to whether you get to come back. How do you like the boats?
The boats are actually really awesome this afternoon. I think I've already said this to you, but locking in next year, hopefully. No, they're a lot of fun, a lot more sporty than our Elliott 7s, and they go so fast in light winds, so hopefully they'll be good this week.
Great. Okay, guys. Well, thank you.
Before we let you go.
Oh, yeah.
I know you're an honorary Australian, Andy, so we brought you some tins from home.
All right.
There you go. Enjoy that.
Thank you. What I did learn early on in Australia, and I hate to say this to the Sydney Siders, but I'm sorry, Swan Lager is the best Australian beer, period. Thank you, guys. And thank you. Thank you. We're going to take a very short off-topic thing here. And Tom is going to, the cameras are going to get this. And so I'm going to ask a question, which is mostly for all the competitors and the coaches. As I think Christine said, I was fortunate enough to sail in the America's Cup before your parents were born. And it was the greatest experience of my life, without question. We had here for the 50th anniversary of the Governor's Cup, we had the Governor's Cup, the America's Cup, and the Congressional Cup all here on stage over there. And the idea was that a whole bunch of us were lucky enough to start with the Governor's Cup, do well in that, go to the Congressional Cup, do well in that, and then sail in the America's Cup. It's different now. Okay, if we had our choice, the next America's Cup, would you be for these things? You have a better chance of getting on one of the current America's Cup boats if you are a bicyclist than you are if you are a sailor. Or would you want to go to 80 or 90 feet, planing monohulls, which would be close together the whole time. They'll go downwind at 25 knots, etc. How many would really think that's a good idea? Stand up. Wild applause. I thought so. It's sad to see this, but hopefully it'll be different here after this year. So let's all keep a good thought in our heads for that, because there is no reason in the world why the quality of you guys and women as sailors don't deserve to be in the America's Cup at some point. I mean, this is where it all started for a whole bunch of us. There's no reason that still shouldn't be true. So thank you. That was good, and we're going to send that. We're gonna send that to a few of. I finally joined New York Yacht Club after everyone that remembered I'd sailed for Australia had died. We're gonna send that to a few New York Yacht Club people and see what they think about the young people. Okay, let's move on to Josh Hyde and Robbie McCutcheon. Hello. There we go. Josh, welcome back.
Thank you.
Introduce your crews. We'll start with you, Josh.
Thank you. First of all, I'd like to say thanks to the McManusons for having us again this year. It's always great to be at your house. Treat us amazingly. But on the team this year, we've got Zach Tremaine, Tom on main, and Cody up on the front of the boat. So looking like a strong team this year and looking forward to it.
Thank you very much, Andy. Huge thank you to Judy Waitman for having the team this week. Cheers, Judy. On my right here, I've got Josh on, man in the middle, and then on the pointy end, Oliver Lloyd.
It's easy for you to say. This actually is an interesting pairing here. These are both Royal New Zealand Yacht Squadron sailors. But at this point, we have this little kid over here and this ancient dude over here. This is Robbie's last year, and yeah, well, I just had my 34th, 39th birthday. But at any rate, it is great to have you back, Robbie, after a year's absence. You really had quite a year or so here. It's amazing. I mean, you've really come back big time. Your first Governor's Cup was not all that. Probably a little disappointing, but boy, it was. There was no question that you were going to be invited in the selection committee meeting. Why do you think that is? Just more experience, or what? Or the haircut?
Let's not talk about ancient or haircuts here. That's a slippery slope. No, to answer your question, it's been. When I go to the barber shop, I tell them to get hair off. When you go, you tell them to put hair on.
Okay, your time's up. Now,
No, to answer your question, it's great to be back here. Balboa Yacht Club was here 2022 with a different team, but nonetheless, it was a great event in 2022. Unfortunately, wasn't here last year, but this year's sort of been, I don't know, more of an experience year and more international sailing, a couple of World Match Race Tour events, and then fortunate to be back for a second time.
well, it's like some of those tour events are some pretty neat places in Europe, and I've lived vicariously through Jeffrey Peterson's exploits in yours too. It really makes me incredibly jealous because there were no such things back then. On the other hand, we were so much better than anybody else, it wouldn't matter. But, you know. So, Josh, you didn't have an awesome Governor's Cup last year, but you've had an awesome 12 months since.
Yeah, I mean, GovCup didn't quite go away last year with a little bit of damage, which didn't help us out. But yeah, the season's been good so far this year with a couple wins at the start of the year and a pretty good crack down at Perth at Warren Jones, and it's been tracking on pretty good since then.
Just so you know, I think a lot of you know, but most of you don't know, there are a great number of youth match racing regattas in Australia and New Zealand every year. There are the 2 under-25s, which are the Warren Jones in Perth, and then the Sir James Hardy, the Hardy Cup in Sydney. And then there are a bunch of under-23s, and your record was it sort of jumped off the page basically this last year. So do you agree with what I was saying earlier, that, you know, the more experience you have, your learning curve just goes like that?
I mean, I'd definitely say so. I mean, every event that we do, we learn a little more, and some events we learn a lot more than others. Yeah. And I think especially when you get to events where you got events back to back, that really skyrockets your ability to learn.
So you've also been sailing on sort of some fun boats like TP52s and stuff like that. What do you tell us about some of the ocean racing stuff?
Yeah, been fortunate enough to sail on some pro gigs. But yeah, like you say, the 52s, or most recently the Sydney to Hobart.
Your first Hobart?
It was my first Hobart, yeah. Fantastic race. I'd recommend it to any sailor out there. Definitely challenging, and I'm sure Andy's got a few stories from his time, but no, it's an awesome race and awesome experience for someone like me.
It's a little bit sick. I mean, after the first one, it blew like 55 knots and, 40-foot seas and stuff, and it was pretty exciting. And we finished, and, a couple days, well, I'll never do that race again. And I didn't until the next year when it was held. It's addictive. It's the most amazing race. And, Sydney before the CYCA, before the race is spectacular. It's like an old home where you see everybody you know. And then Hobart is pretty neat. It's
fun party.
It is a fun party. Yeah, you guys don't have the quiet little drink anymore, though, I don't think, do you? Yeah, there used to be this great thing. You'd finish, and it was called the QLD. And it was at one pub each year. The pub would never invite us back the next year. And all the owners would come in. They had a big chalkboard, and they would write, 500 beers on such and such a boat and the whole thing. And then all the Aussies and the K1s would save their absolute best stories of the year. And so there'd be decor, somebody get up on stage, and it was really fun. But I think that was a different time, shall we say. Anyway, all right, guys. Well, welcome to New Zealand, and the Royal New Zealand Yacht Squadron, I think, is second in the number of wins in the Governor's Cup behind Balboa Yacht Club. So, pretty neat. Welcome back.
Cheers, Andy.
All right, mate. Now we have Sienna Nichols and Dylan C. They're so young that I actually should have put them earlier on the thing, because I think it may be close to past their bedtime. You too. All right. Well, Sienna, ladies first. Introduce your crew.
Yeah. Thank you, Andy. I'm Sienna. I'm the skipper. This is my sister, Maddie. She's on main. This is Kai. She's on jib. And this is Eddie. He's on bow.
Hi everyone, my name is Dylan C. I'll be driving. I've got Tyler Wood here on bow, Cam Spriggs on jib, and because one Dylan isn't enough, I got another Dylan on main. So.
Well, let me start with Sienna. It was fun at opening day. At the club here, there's a booth for various things. We have Governor's Cup booths just to give people information and that kind of thing. And Sienna was manning the booth. And I forget who was sitting next to you, but I started talking to Sienna, and the person said, "Oh, do you know who this is?" I said, "Yeah, I know who you are," to Sienna. Then it occurred to me after that you're going to hear that so many times in your life. "Oh, I know who you are," you know. Sienna is the youngest competitor ever in the Governor's Cup. But already has a record to show that she belongs here. She won the Mayor's Cup, which is a women's event in Long Beach, and beat our friend, I believe it was Allie Bleacher, wasn't it? Allie's the 4th-ranked match race woman in the world, and Sienna pounded her. So watch out, guys. So Dylan, I'm going to go to you, and then I'm going to go back to Sienna. You have quite a dinghy record.
A little bit. I started off sailing with my brother. Started off mostly in Club 420s and a lot of high school sailing. Did a full summer circuit a few times out on the East Coast. It was pretty fun. We did a full little family road trip out. Drove a lot of miles and spent a lot of time sitting in a car, but it was a lot of fun for sure. And actually more recently too, I started sailing 29ers a little bit. A lot more fun than clubs. Especially when it's 25 knots until you launch your crew off the boat and they get a couple of stitches. Sorry, Wyatt.
Crew or a dime a dozen. You can get another one. We did on Tom Eamon's Sailing Illustrated show, which is every Tuesday and Friday. We did a piece on the Governor's Cup, basically, and in the comments, a lot of people from around the world watch it. And among the commenters was Blake Middleton, who used to be the coach at Stanford. And he said, "Oh, I'm so glad Dylan's there. Brady, your dad, was one of the great sailors, then." And that really made me feel old because Blake and those guys were young. I mean, so anyway. Well, Dylan, since you are going to Stanford University in the fall, I'm very pleased with that. It's Justin would say it's Harvard of the West, but in fact it's the reverse. So I have a little present for you. For those of you who don't know, when I was at Stanford, we were the Indians. And needless to say, that was not politically correct. So eventually, they decided they had to change the name. And they stupidly put it to a vote of the student body. If you know the history, Leland Stanford was a former governor of California, a former senator, but most known for being one of the railroad guys who built the Union Pacific all the way to the West Coast. And they were called robber barons. He and a few others in San Francisco just were stealing money everywhere. So the student body voted about 70% for robber barons as the new mascot. The administration didn't think that was a good idea. So now we are resorting to, we are a color like Harvard, but actually cardinal is a lot nicer color than crimson. But we have on the symbol of Stanford, there's a tree. And Palo Alto, of course, means, tall tree. So we pretty much adopted that. So at football games, there's this person, we think it's a person, that does the tree. And the tree is in various things each week. It's a totally different tree. And the tree dances around at his or her own pace. But at any rate, the new motto of Stanford is, "Fear the tree." There you go.
Thank you.
Now, Sienna, because we're trying to be fair, I have a present for you, too.
Oh, even better.
Yeah, see that? You get the drift.
I have socks like that.
All right, so for Sienna, because Sienna is not only the youngest, but also we have had a number of female sailors in the Governor's Cup, one of whom won. A second should have, if it hadn't blown so hard on the last day. She was in the finals, but clearly she went on to win a medal in the Olympics. But other than that, we still have a lot of women. But this is awesome to have not only the youngest, but a female skipper here for Balboa Yacht Club. So I thought that I would get a shirt design for you. So This is the one that doesn't have, the rest of them, I bought some for your team and your family if you want. So it says Team Nichols on the front under the Governor's Cup thing. And on the back, it's a picture of a 50s housewife. Or for those of you who read, a Project 2025 housewife. And then it says, a woman's place is ... on the helm. All right, well, good luck to you both. As I said, Sienna only has 7 more Governor's Cups. Dylan has 5. So if Jeffrey Peterson does win his record-breaking 3rd, it will be a short-lived record, I think. Anyway, good job. Yo, see you. Okay, now we're going to go to the semifinalists because all 4 semifinalists are back. Justin Callahan and Morgan Pinckney. The lowest alphabet. Tom, which way are we going here? Look at the monitor. Oh, well. Hi, Morgan.
Andrew.
So Morgan came over to the table earlier and to talk to Dan Thompson, who is one of our boat partners and one of the awesome 505 sailor, et cetera. And Morgan came over and chatted up Danny just a little bit and then said, Andy, could I have your sponsor badge? I told Danny he didn't come to talk to you. He just wanted the sponsor badge. Morgan, introduce your crew.
I'm on the helm this week. I'm Morgan. And then we have Mark Murray and Colleen O'Brien and Nick Drummond. So Nick's on the main, Colleen's on pit, and Mark is going to be on the bow.
All right.
Hello again. I'm Justin. I'm helming. This is Michaela. You might recognize that. It might be Colleen's twin sister. Maybe. And then Michaela's in the pit. Trevor Davis is on the main. And then Spencer is on the bow, doing a lot of heavy lifting up there.
So the bow of these boats are just like the bow of a snipe, right? Yeah, yeah. I reference that because previously Justin was the junior world champion in snipes. Yeah, the junior world champion. And this year he won the nationals, which is not a junior event, and he beat Augie Diaz, who is he's a total legend, and also I understand has been very helpful to you. But I'll bet he didn't appreciate that all that much. I mean, being helpful is one thing, but come on. Anyway, but it's quite a feat. The Snipe, Lightning, and Star are arguably the toughest one design classes in the world. Some exceptional sailors sail them, so that's quite a feat. But the boats are a little different than these. So are you getting back into this?
Yeah, I think the last match race I did was the Youth Worlds, and before that it was in Detroit in the summer. So we haven't really done a lot of match racing, but safe to say we've been watching a lot of video, hearing a lot of Andy and Tom's commentary, and it's been great studying and great to be back at Balboa.
All right. Well, Morgan, you didn't have to come too far, except from Yale. Well, Morgan, he was just finished his freshman year at Yale, and as you know, college is terrific because you get a wide variety of experiences and meet a wide variety of people. And so Morgan decided to take up another sport besides sailing. And if we can cue this, this was Morgan performing at a basketball game at Yale.
Hey, I just filmed this.
Dude, Morgan doesn't know where he is.
I got rollers. Morgan. Oh my God. Go, Morgan! Go!
Just a minute. Now, Justin, you wouldn't allow any of that tomfoolery like that at Harvard, would you? You guys, come on.
My trike skills are not up to that. I've got a year of practice before I get to that level.
All right. Well, next year we'll bring trucks for both of you. That was quite a performance, but I'm glad your match race starts are slightly better than your tricycle race starts.
Well, Andrew, you think you may have gotten me. I mean, you Stanford guys think you're witty and you try to be like the Ivy Leaguers, but I figured you'd bring that up. So, Marcello, would you like to bring the tricycles to the stage? I'd like to see your tricycle skills. I think we do a little race around the tables. Marcello and his crew will be reffing it, so those will be up here in a second.
Note to self, don't invite Morgan back.
All right. So let's get on to it.
Well, show it first. Show us. Morgan.
There we go. Standard tricycle. That's what I was performing on. So Andy seems very...
Show us your techniques. I want to learn from you.
Oh, I can't be giving the secrets away before the first annual,
Morgan,
Balboa Yacht Club GovCup race.
Show us your techniques. I want to learn from you.
Well, you see, you have a seat here.
Yeah.
You sit on the seat,
Yeah.
and then you have pedals, and you pedal with them.
Yeah.
So let's see how you go on it.
You pedal with your knees, do you?
No, your feet.
No, the only problem, I would, but I wouldn't be able to get back up. So I think we'll leave that alone. Now, if you want to challenge, the Harvard Yale, we could have a short course just from right there. Have a short course. No, just go. No, you're not that funny. Just go all the way down there. It's just a one-way course. Come on, why not? Harvard and Yale compete in all sorts of sports. You want me to, Marcello, you want me to do the ready, set, go? On your marks, set, go. Marcello, who was the winner there? Marcello Torre, a totally unbiased referee, says that Justin Callahan of Harvard has won. So I guess, unlike match racing, experience in tricycle racing doesn't seem to help much, does it? Oh, well. Well, thank you, guys. It is great to have you back. 3 years ago, at the Rose Cup, it was in Long Beach, and so we were able to take the GovCup TV group and went up and televised it. And I think Tom Eamon and Chris Bretschker and a whole bunch of us were there, said that the finals of that Rose Cup between you two was one of the most amazing match racing series I've ever seen. It was just terrific. And last year, you guys, did pretty well here. So, can you beat Cole and Jeffrey this time?
Yeah, I mean, we'll see what happens. We're just happy to be here, and hopefully the results follow. I think we have a very capable team, and we'll go out there and we'll do our best. And when we feel at our best, hopefully the results follow.
Right. You think?
I've been sailing against them forever. We're great friends. We've done a lot of training and racing together, so it's just good to be around them. I think we're right there with them, and we'll see how it goes. But it'll be a good time nonetheless.
All right. Sounds great. Thanks, guys and ladies. And finally, the winner and runner-up last year, Cole Tapper and Jeffrey Peterson. Yeah, go over there. Oh, I'm sorry. Actually, Cole, you went around the podium on the wrong side. Go back over there. But Jeffrey, as in the year before, you went around the podium on the wrong side. So trade sides. I was nice enough to Cole last year that before the final press conference, he says, "Please don't do that to me, because of that." Well, it was sort of fascinating because in match racing, these two had a tremendous, series, and the boats are very close, and they were overlapped at the weather mark. And the leeward boat, you're doing a mark rounding to starboard. The leeward boat, if it has luffing rights, can take the other boat virtually off the course. Or it looked like you guys for a while were going to Long Beach. At any rate, finally, when spinnakers were set and came down, Cole never really rounded the mark because he went outside the mark coming down. Jeffrey had done something very similar the year before. So it happens, but I don't think it'll happen again to either of you guys. Introduce your crews.
Hi, I'm Cole. I'm sailing with Hamish on the bow and Jack on the main and trimming. And I just want to say thank you to Jill Golden. She is hosting us this year, and this is our third time staying with her. So, yeah, we're very grateful. When we come back, it's like going home. So, yeah, we're very lucky. And also to the CYCA and Jordan, they support us to get here, and we're very lucky to be part of the club. So thank you.
Great. Jeffrey?
Hey, good evening, everyone. First, want to shout out Dr. Bray and Disport and Spine Center for supporting Golden State Match Racing. We've had a great run, and it couldn't have done it without his help. And the Balboa Yacht Club for backing us and all sorts of training hours. Becky, Susanna, Frankie, all those people that make our campaign possible. This week on the boat, I've got Enta Mendito coming back for hopefully what will be another one, and then Daniel Pegg, who hasn't won one yet, but looking to do so this year.
Well, I've known Enzo for a couple of years. I've known Daniel for a lot longer, and Jeffrey is missing Max Brennan this year, I believe, aged out. But Max has been with Jeffrey every one of his many wins. But I can tell you that having sailed with Daniel most recently on a 12-meter last year, the boats that used to be used in the America's Cup, and originally he was going to sort of be involved with the main maybe or grind or something. He ended up trimming the mainsail on a 12-meter, which is one of the hardest and most important jobs you have if you look at the difference in sail size, and just was superb. So I've described Daniel as probably the best guy on a boat in any position that I know of right now. So I think you'll be just fine. Now here, though, I don't know if you guys have that kind of talent, but I learned something earlier today that, we haven't had somebody sing up here since Felix Jacobson from Sweden. But I understand that Hamish is an actor and singer, so sing something.
Andy, I tell that to you in confidence, mate. You can't bring that up now. My voice is not what it used to be, Andy. I will not give you a song. No. What do you want me to sing? What do you want me to sing?
What would you like him to sing?
Nah, look, you're going to have to wait till on the water. We like to do a little triplet thing going on. We can't.
How about The Working Class Can Kiss My Ass? How about that? You know that one? Jesus Christ, we taught Cole last year. Damn, well, we'll teach that to you. For the end of the regatta, we want him out there with a microphone singing. All right. So you guys this is sort of in the last 12 months or so, this is the rubber match because Jeffrey won the Governor's Cup against Cole as runner-up, and then Cole got second in the Worlds, and Jeffrey got third, I believe. So they're both 1-1, and this will be interesting. So what do you do different this year than you did last year in racing against Jeffrey, besides sing to him?
Well, Jeffrey at least won one. We were just runner-up in both, so hopefully we'll try and take some of that. Also, we stole his secret weapon at the end of last year in the form of Max Brennan, a beautiful man with long blonde hair. And unfortunately, he's aged out this year, so Jeffrey doesn't have him by his side anymore to tell him where to go up the course. So, yeah. We called up Max last year. We've been sailing with Max, and we said, "All right, tell us the secrets before you go back to Jeffrey." And he said, "No, we're competing. We can't tell you." But this year he's out, and the non-compete's over. The secrets are out. So we've got all the dirty details.
Jeffrey, I'll represent you. We'll sue him.
Oh, we got nothing to hide. We love, Max can tell him all sorts of things, but at that point, his playbook's outdated by roughly 2 years. So, hopefully we've come up with a few new things here that they haven't seen yet. But, look, at the end of the day, we love Max, and we're glad you guys have broken him free. He used to be a bit rigid back in the day, if people remembered him, and they've managed to make him a bit more fun. So, Max, we love you. And to Cole's team too, honestly, you say rubber match, but it's really a great friendship. Like, I think both teams would. Okay, Hamish, chill out, all right, bud. But we have a lot of fun. We go and sail, and the gloves are off when it's on the water, but when we come back in, these are the first boys we go to hang out with. So, it's good.
All right. So at the I don't have all the details, but at the Rose Cup in June, evidently U.S. Sailing has put out a sort of a protocol for youth regattas, and it included a 10 p.m. curfew. We have a curfew at the Governor's Cup. You can't be in before 11. But Jeffrey, I have a present for you. Let me start by saying there's a term that we use a lot in sail, racing, and that's rock star. And originally, I believe, and they told us this, I went to the Great Lakes to sail for the first time, like when I was 21, and they said, "Oh, well, you're a rock star." I said, "Well, thank you, of course." A rock star is somebody that came to the lakes from more than 1,000 miles away whose airfare was paid for by someone else. So that was true. Well, now it is in the general parlance, and it means just a really good sailor. I mean, a rock star. So, Jeffrey, last year I gave you the shirt with all the targets on it, and that didn't seem appropriate this year because now, after your record with a World Championship, 2 Governor's Cups, a Rose Cup, sailing in the World Match Racing Tour events, etc., you're sort of a rock star. So, I got you a shirt, rock star. But the best part is the bracelet. This is the Rockstar bracelet. So I expect to see you wearing this on the course. All right? There you go. Well, guys, thank you. This is a perfect end to have you all up here. This should be, I can hardly wait. This is just going to be epic. The teams are incredible, and you guys are incredible, and let's see if we can do something similar to last year. Although this would be, I am one of the 13 people who have won the Governor's Cup twice. There's one person here who could be the record holder with 3, Jeffrey.
We're just on a mission to prove that maybe not every monkey can steer. Maybe only a few monkeys can steer. We'll see how we go.
Awesome. Okay, guys, thank you. Well, I think you can see why, as I said at the beginning, that this is my second Christmas week because these sailors are just amazing. It's fun to live vicariously through them sometimes now that they get to do match racing events all over the world. But this is truly an elite group. These are not only some of the best youth match racers in the world, they are some of the best match racers in the world, period. So I can hardly wait. I hope you all can hardly wait. If you cannot join us out on the water, spectators are welcome. But we do have the Tom posted there before, the broadcast schedule. We do morning shows Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. We do press conferences on Friday afternoon with the semifinalists and Saturday afternoon after racing with the finalists. And we do live streaming of all-day racing, both Friday and Saturday. We've added a bunch of new technological stuff, which I don't have a clue about. There's the schedule. But we're going to be in high def. Which is, I thought the picture was really good. Now it's going to be even better. We shouldn't have as many lapses, and various things have done, and it's just going to be, last year was good, this year will be even better. So we look forward to seeing you all one way or the other. Thank you very much.